Hey guys, Supercoach MVP here. Today in this video I'm going to be showing you my team for 2024, well my early team. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Starting off in the back line, if it'll go to the back line. Yep. So in the back line, I'm going to start off with the obvious choice, Nick Dacos. I don't think you can go past him. He's an incredible player, an incredible athlete. He's just he can only get better. It's his second bloody year, and well, this is his third year, but it was his second year, and he averaged 116. That is crazy. He has got some real upside. I'm looking forward to see what he can produce, Nick Dacos. So 100% he's going to be my D1. And coming in at D2, I've got James Sicily. It really hurt me not to have James Sicily last year because towards the end of the year he was pumping out some absolutely crazy scores. I can't even lie, he was going off. So yeah, James Sicily, I think the only way is up for him. He's really maturing and he's not old age but middle kind of age. So yeah, starting to enter his prime. Next up, I've got the man from Essendon, Jordan Ridley. So Jordan Ridley last year got into some really good form without his injuries. Like when he was injury free and just going about it, he was getting 30 plus most weeks and 120s as Supercoach. Like he was just going off. I wasn't an owner of him, but gee, he just looked really good, and it did hurt me not to have him for a little bit. And this 94 average, I think if it wasn't for injuries, could have been bumped up to maybe an 100 this year. So I don't know. I think Ridley's a lot better than what people are giving him. I reckon he can take his game to the next level next year, and I think he can be a really good selection. Next up, we got Hayden Young, a popular choice this year. Obviously, got the midfield role towards the end of the year and did really well for the Dockers. I don't think he had a game under 120 for Supercoach, so yeah, hopefully he can continue that this year. I'm just getting him purely because he's on the rise and he's a safe choice. Lots of people have him, so again, I wouldn't say this is his breakout year actually because he averaged 94. That's pretty much a breakout year for Hayden Young, but this year I think he can break out even more, just get even better than he already is. So yeah, he looked really well suited there in the midfield. So yeah, happy to have him in my team. So next up, I've got a man at a very low price, an outrageous price. I don't think he'll be a primo, but I think he will fit right into the team and be a good cash cow. And that man is Zach Williams. So Zach Williams, in the early days of his career, he was averaging 90 to 100 on Supercoach, and he was a decent pick. A few people had him, and now the fact that he's 216k, which is just unbelievable after his ACL injury, it's just you can't go past him. You have to get him. I think he'll pump out around a 70 to 80 average. I don't think he'll be crazy, but I do think he'll go up to maybe the 400k mark, hopefully. Yeah, and I think he'll be a good cash cow for this year. Next up, another popular choice. I'm going with... Where is he? Bloke from the Bulldogs. Nick Caulfield. So, Nick Caulfield is a great talent. He's a very great talent. Top 10 draft pick. And, yeah, just clouded by injuries at St Kilda. Just had really bad luck in his years there. Needed a trade to the Western Bulldogs, so he got a trade to the Western Bulldogs. So, yeah, I think if he goes injury free, he can be a very good cash cow. And not even that, I just think he could be a great player too for the Western Bulldogs. Like, he was a top 10 draft pick at the end of it, so you've got to see some talent in him. And on my bench, starting off with another popular choice, Josh Gibcus. So Josh Gibcus is a very good player. In his first year, he was very good. I think it was 2020, 2021. But yeah, he was pretty good, Josh Gibbs. I'll give him that. He was a standout player in his first year. And the fact that he's 150k, I think is pretty good. And I think he'll 100% get a game for Richmond and go up in price. So yeah, I've chosen Josh Gibbs there. And next up, we got a bloke from North Melbourne who a lot of people have been getting to, and that's Toby Pink. So yeah, my backline stayed very, very generic, very popular. Not many pods, pretty much no pods except for maybe Ridley. And yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the way it's looking. I think all of these players, these four players can average 100 plus, and I hope they do. And I think these players can all go up by a decent amount next year. So on to the midfielders. So for the midfielders, I've started off with Jordan Dawson. Where's he at? Jordan Dawson. So yeah, I've gotten word from a few of my mates who I've got some relatives that work down at the club, and I've heard some word that Jordan Dawson is having an insane preseason. Like, he was already a great player. I mean, he's their captain for God's sake. I mean, he's a gun. But I've gotten word that he's having some sort of preseason, and they are just going to let him run free in that midfield. No responsibilities, no nothing. He's just going to absolutely powerhouse through the league. So yeah, apparently they're gonna let Laird and Matt Crouch lay back a little bit and just let Jordan Dawson do all the dirty work in the midfield. So that just points good signs for me, and I reckon he can average 120 plus this year. Next up, we got a pod, and it's Luke Davies-Uniacke. So Luke Davies-Uniacke is one of the most influential players without injuries. If we look at the matches played here by everyone, we got 20, all around 20, 19, whatever. And then we got 14. Luke Davies-Uniacke is absolutely haunted by injuries in his career. He would have been a Brownlow smoker this year if it wasn't for his body injuries. He is a superstar. He's just so influential with the ball, so influential in the game. He's a perfect person I want to play under. I mean, I don't think. Well, lots of people are going to go past him, but I think you're delusional if you are, because, I mean, he averaged 113 in the 14 games he played, and he's still young. He's got plenty of upside. I can't wait to see what he can produce this year. Next up, we got a popular choice, and that's Tom Green. I haven't not had Tom Green in my whole Supercoach time, so Tom Green is just a spectacular choice. He's never been bad. He's never been a bad player. I mean, last year, last year we saw him fucking average, what was it, 111, and yeah, he was just very good. I mean, the way he just balls through the midfield, it's incredible, and he's the best GWS midfielder. He's an absolute ball magnet. The ball is just attracted to him, and he's attracted to the ball. It's incredible what he does for some games for GWS. He sometimes carries them. Him and Toby just absolutely carry the Giants, even though I think they've got a pretty good list. They've all the players contribute well, but gee, he's been a standout, and I think the only way for him is up. So you can't go past him this year. Next up, we got Sam Walsh. You cannot go past Sam Walsh. A full injury-free preseason, and in the whole year last season, he was carrying an injury. He said before he was carrying an injury. So this 103 average is just an injury-clouded year. Just 103 average is already good for 90% of the players in Supercoach. But for an off year, for an injury-clouded off year, 103 average is incredible. And I think next year, without injuries, he can go insane and average 120. I have real faith in Sam Walsh. I think he's an incredible player. Maybe this is just me being... Well, yeah, I am a Carlton supporter. It's not me being biased because he is an incredible fucking player. He's definitely better than Rosie. I'm going to pick him this year. He'll go up in price for sure, and I can't wait to see what he can produce. Next up, we got the man from St Kilda, and that is Jack Steele, the man of steel. So, Jack Steele. Risky, risky, risky. But you know what? I'm willing to take that risk for Jack Steele. He played 20 games under his belt, and he had injuries all year long. He's just an absolute gladiator, and I think without injuries, he's just, again, like Walsh, without injuries, he can just be something else in that midfield. So hopefully he breaks out. Well, not breaks out, but you know what I mean. Goes up in price a lot. Next up we got Colby McKercher. Where's Colby McKercher? Here he is. This guy averaged something crazy in VFL. Like, I remember seeing this Instagram post, and it was all like the top 10 draft picks and all their averages in VFL, and Supercoach averages, that is. And Colby McKercher had an astonishing, I think it was 116 average in the VFL. So if that's the case, you cannot go past Colby McKercher. And I don't know what it is, but the second draft pick always ends up being better than the first, in my opinion. I don't know what it is. They end up being a lot better. But like Sheasel last year, and Cadman just turned kind of to shit. But he's still young. He's got plenty of time to develop. But yeah, I reckon Colby McKercher is going to absolutely launch to start off his AFL career. Next up, the man from the Bulldogs, Riley Sanders. Now, Riley Sanders is again just an absolute ball magnet in that under 18s competition. Or is it under 18s? Just a great player. He's an absolute bull, and I think he could do really well in the Bulldogs midfield now that Baylor Smith is injured. I think it opens a good spot for Riley Sanders to bloom, and I can really see him having a great year. So, yeah, Riley Sanders. Another draft pick here, high draft pick, Daniel Curtin. This guy's incredible. I've seen what he can do. I've even been to some of his games. He's just, with the stuff he does, he reminds me a bit of Rory Sloane, actually. He plays with fucking heart on his sleeve. He's very, very fast. He's very good. I like him. I think he's going to be good next season. And then on the bench, we got just a few rookies here. Nothing much to say about them, but yeah, just getting them to be a bit of some filler in my team. So we got Roberts, Sharp, and Clark. Jai Clark, there he is. So for the rucks, I've gone Rowan Marshall and Brodie Grundy. So you can't go past Brodie Grundy, I don't think. And for most people, it's Grundy and Gawn. But the reason why I've gone Marshall over Gawn is I thought Gawn, I mean, he was incredible when Grundy was first dropped out of the team, but I think he's just going to get a bit old. I mean, he's only 31, edging 32, but I just, a bit of him last year, there was just shades of, like, you know, when a player's getting old and they're just not as versatile, not as fast, not as switched on anymore, and Gawn was a bit like that, especially in the final series, so I'm not fully sold on him. I think he can drop. I think he can average, like, a lot less than what most people are thinking. So, yeah, I've gone the safe pick and I've gone with Marshall, so I hope he has a great year, and same with Grundy. And on the bench, I'll just go Finbar, Malloy, whatever it is. And for the forwards, I've got Now, I'm going to actually go past Jack McRae, which is surprising for most people, but if he does get that midfield role, I will be spewing that I didn't pick him up, but it's not looking like he's going to change from being that forward, mid, half forward, winger, weird sort of positions that they're playing Jack McRae in. So, because of that, at 558k, I don't think it's worth it. I'm just going to go straight to Flanders. And Flanders, you cannot go past. I mean, I think he averaged like 33 disposals last year. He was incredible. And apparently him and Stewie Drew, not really the best of mates. So you could see why he didn't perform well under him. And as soon as the new coach came in, he was just incredible. He just went crazy, getting 30 plus every week in that midfield. So I think he can do really well this year. I think the only way for him is up. So yeah, Sam Flanders 100% going to be my team. Next up, another popular choice, Zach Fisher. So Zach Fisher is going to get like the chip role, the seagull role for North Melbourne. And we've seen how well that's gone in previously years. Like we saw Sheasel average 100 last season. We saw Zeeble at one stage just go crazy during the year. And now Fisher. And I think he got into some really great form with the Blues towards the end of the year in that chip role, in that seagull role. So, and at North Melbourne, I just think it's going to be even easier for him. So I can't wait to see what he can produce. I think he could produce an 100 plus averaging year. And for my next player, I've gone a bit of a punt, but I've gone Elijah Satis, however you say his name. He is just, I've seen, he didn't get much of a chance last season due to injuries and being out of the side, but I saw flashes of brilliance from him last season. I think he can really break out this year. He's a skillful player who just hasn't really gotten the chance yet due to injuries and stuff. So I think if he has a full run at it, he'll be very good, Elijah Satis. So yeah. Next up, we got Harley Reid. Just obvious, number 1 draft pick. Can't go past him. That's all I really have to say. Darcy Wilson. He's having a very big preseason with St Kilda. I've only heard good things about him, so I'm looking forward to see what he can do. And then next we got Sean. Oh, is it Sean or is it Manor? Yeah, Sean Manor. This guy got 26 and 6 or 26 and 5, 28 and 6, I don't know, something like that in the VFL Grand Final. He was incredible. And the VFL, yes, it's very different from the AFL, but I feel like if you're getting 26, 28 and 6 in a VFL Grand Final, you're going to do decent in the big league. So I have high hopes for him. He's at a low price. I think he'll rise up a lot more. And lastly here on the bench, I've got just a few rookies that I think might get a game. A couple rookies. Fullerton and Jacob Bauer. So yeah, that is my team for season 2024. So thank you guys for watching. It's always a pleasure to make videos, and there will be much more videos to come. I personally cannot wait for this footy season to come underway, and cannot wait to get stuck in. So see you guys next time.